Welcome to another edition of Divine Love Talk. Today is Tuesday, October 14th, which is a 5-day. 5 is the number of change. A lot of you have been seeing a lot of changes and transitions coming through due to the eclipse season that we had in September, that full moon that followed, right? And now the new moon that we're about to experience in a few days. Venus going into Libra, as well as Pluto stationing direct. A lot of truths are being pushed to the forefront to be dealt with, to be compartmentalized, so that you can enter 2026 in a balanced way and on a clean slate for the most part, right? Everything that's happening is aligning you with your happily ever after, is aligning you with wish fulfillment. In today's reading, we're going to find out, first of all, what's going on in the general collective. Also, we're going to tap into the energies of Venus and Libra and what that means for the collective. When Venus is in Taurus, she's all about all things second house, all things money, all things stability and beauty, as well as love. But that's kind of to the side, right? Venus is concerned with only, what makes her stable and comfortable when she is in Taurus, right? Again, all things second house. When she moves into her sister sign, right? Libra. Shout out to all my Taurus and Libra signs, right? Because you guys are really feeling this transit. She's all about bringing in balance when it comes to relationships, not just our romantic relationships or our situationships. We listen and we don't judge, but anybody that we have a one-to-one relationship with, our family, our friends, our foes, our co-workers, our neighbors, and such. Anything that's coming to the light now during a Libra season, the season of justice, the season of reaping your just rewards, the season of harvest is supposed to happen. With all the other transits that's been going on, it's really, really hard to hide the truth from the collective. If you get swindled now, it's low-key your own fault. We're not blaming you. We're just giving you the heads up that the energy, cosmically speaking, is too potent, right? To let the savages have their way with you. We're going to open up because I don't feel like we have enough space on this table. Maybe not. Is that a little better? Kind of, sort of, maybe. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. If this is your first time here, hello, hello, hello. My name is Etta, Mystic Healer. That is not me in your inbox, whether you're on TikTok, YouTube, or elsewhere, because I will never reach out to you first. But I will always respond eventually if you reach out to me. Today is Tuesday. It is ruled by Mars, the planet of action. Let's see what type of action Spirit wants the collective to take on this day. What do you guys need to hear? This is a general message, and we're going to do the whole Venus and Libra message after this, right? Definitely feel free to leave any comments, response, thoughts, feelings in the comments. Once I'm done with channeling, I will definitely read your thoughts and get back to you. That being said, Holy Spirit, what does the collective need to know on this Tuesday? Oh, we haven't done this in a long time. Hold on. As I get into the Tuesday is the day of the divine feminine. And during spooky season, right? In all seasons, right? Those of you who know me know that we celebrate, acknowledge Maîtresse on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Ezeli, Tonto, Freda, all the feminine escorts. So we're going to pull a message from them as well. We'll leave this to the side and see if the Holy Spirit has anything else they want to say as I reposition myself. Holy Spirit, what else do you have to share with the collective on this Tuesday? And yes, the divine feminines are very strong today. The female entities, very, very present today. I guess because they have a lot to say. What else does the collective need to know? Thank you. Anything else? All right. Straight to the point. And lastly, well, not lastly, so I position all of these so they're all in frame. And again, feel free, any thoughts, feelings that you're having, put it in the comments. The moderators are on deck. There are no personal readings on the live, but if you would like a reading, that information is in the bio. Holy Spirit, what is the vibe for this Tuesday, the 14th, this day of change? And my divine feminines that were screaming at me, what would you like to share with the collective about this day? What does the collective need to know about this day? Shout out to the Soul Tribe and the OGs. Thank you, my moderators, for keeping this a safe and sacred space. Anything else that the collective needs to hear on this day? And those of you who are familiar with this deck, you know it's a little spicy, so I may have to pull them off camera before showing you because you know you don't want to get violated. Hi, Mars. Nurturing, wisdom, mentorship, giving back. Okay, so if you are a serviteur, if you are one, you know you are one by the mention of that name, right? Of that title. If you are a devotee, right? Any practitioner during spooky season, right? The season of the witch, right? This October through the beginning of November, because cross cultures is something about between Halloween and November 2nd that we all celebrate if you practice, any HCR or derivative of one, right? You are reminded that in addition to working your craft and staying in faith and doing what you do, you're also supposed to give charity, right? You're also supposed to be giving back to the community, giving back to your société, your society, whoever your soul tribe, your soul group is. Now I know why they had me do what I did earlier, right? Because through charity, we also receive. We are all so abundant that we can be of assistance to someone else. Even if you only have bottles of water in your refrigerator, I assure you, you are abundant and you have something to share, something to give, something that you can help somebody else with. Do it. While, especially bonus points when you're calling in stuff and you're doing your workings and you're working your altar, you also have to go out in the community and give back, right? That's another way of showing gratitude, of showing thanksgiving, of showing, you know what, I've already received what I asked for, so let me go spread love. It's the Brooklyn way, right? With everybody that I come across that I can within reason. Don't just be sharing with folks for the sake of sharing, because you might run into your Judas, and we don't want that energy right now. Not ever, but definitely not right now during spooky season and as we prepare to receive the new year. Some of you might need to get into mentorship. Find a spiritual advisor, find a counselor, and you already know because you got in the heads up months ago that some of you, you've been ducking it for a while, but it's time to get into therapy to deal with those things you've been putting off to the side. That is your truth being revealed during Libra season. Those things that you thought happened to everybody as a kid, they didn't. Those traumas that you were taught to suck it up and big boys don't cry and girls don't do this. It's time to work through those wounds, because if you continue to respond to people, places, and things while carrying those wounds are your avatar and attracting situations, peoples, and things that further wound you. Hurt people not because they intend to, it's because they're moving from their wounds. This is your battle cry. This is your call. This is your hawk cry. to get the help that you need in the way that best suits you. It's time for you, for whoever this message is for, to start nurturing your inner child. That's the change that the angels, the universe, God, the Creator, the Most High, wants you to start engaging with, right? So we'll put that right here. Hopefully, no, y'all can't see that. Right there. Okay, that's better. So we'll start here with Sochi, with grounding in 3, right? The number of rebuilding. Knowing who you are and standing in your truth, battle wounds and all. Doing what is necessary because some of you are coming out of your season of loss. You might realize it, you might not be aware of it as yet, but I'm hearing a new day is dawning. We've been called to stand unapologetically in our truth for weeks, months, and years now. And for some, it hasn't been a linear journey where, you stand up in your truth every day, all day, 365, 24/7. Some days you do, some days you don't, some days you can't. They want you to get better at having better days, standing in your truth unapologetically, knowing that the Most High supports you and that the whole universe is conspiring to help you manifest whatever it is that you are trying to manifest. Keep doing what you've been doing. Keep putting that work in. You will receive the fruits of your labor. With TikTok and Chop Wood coming out in reverse, and oracle cards, we typically don't read in the reverse. Any delays with TikTok, it's not really a delay. It's a moment of preparation. It's a moment of you getting ready to receive with both hands wide open and both eyes wide open. Everything that you've been asking for, hoping for, wanting for, desiring. There's a lot going on in the background to bring those manifestations in with Mojaji, right? With 9, and we're in a 9-year, and 9 is the ending of cycles, right? Going through this one last storm before you can manifest that change you've been seeking. And 52 is 7, and 7 is the number of divine, of the Most High. Another confirmation that you are fully supported. If you just manage to make it through this next storm, or maybe next few storms, right? You're almost there. You're almost to your day of liberation, your day of receiving everything that you've been praying for, hoping for, manifesting. Any delay, any setback, any cosmic no is preparing you for all the yeses that align with your highest and your greatest good. Next we have, speaking of your highest and your greatest good, right? And then we have gift. Shout out to anybody whose birthday is on April 26th, or April 17th, because that was like heavily highlighted, as well as 26 being 8 and the number of karma. Those blessings are coming in. They are delayed, another confirmation, right? And we always know that delay doesn't mean denial, right? That's coming out in reverse, but it's coming. Just because it hasn't arrived yet, that doesn't mean it's not arriving. It's just, caught up in the storm. And once the storm clears, that's when you'll start receiving everything that you are due to receive. With Tituba, y'all know who Tituba is, right? All my witches and warlock, all my Salem folks, right? You know who Tituba is. If not, we'll get into it. But this is a moment to remind yourself, right? For those of you who have been doing the EFT tapping, the daily affirmations, right? The mirror work, you are safe. You are loved. You are cherished. You are respected. You are on the precipice of manifesting your happily ever after. You just need to keep doing what you've been doing and stand in the knowing that everything is all right. No matter how chaotic your personal storm may seem, or the world, or the government, or the planets, right? Atlas 3i, right? Don't come for me, right? No matter, regardless of what's going on, you're doing just fine and better than you think. Everything is in balance, as that car horn confirms, and that number 2 confirms, right? We see the balance of the sun and the moon and the stars, both the masculine and the feminine, with Mara Lisa, that cosmic power, calling in your own cosmic power, standing in your own power, which always happens when you stand unapologetically in your truth. Whatever has been laid to rest, say a prayer, throw some flowers on it, and don't look back, right? Take everything that comes in stride. Breathe, relax, meditate. Oh, meditate. Meditate, meditate, meditate. It will help you get into a daily grounding practice. This needs to be an everyday thing. Like you brush your teeth every day, right? You walk every day to somewhere, right? Even though if you don't go to a formal walk, right, for 3 miles or for 15 minutes, whatever, right? Meditating, praying needs to be a daily habit. First thing you do and the last thing you do. First thing you do when you wake up and the last thing you do before going to bed. Balance is coming in. And of course, we know that because it's Libra season. But you need to know that, mind, body, and soul. You need to start showing up 24/7, 365, 366 during a leap year as your authentic, unapologetic true self. And as you always hear me say, those who matter won't mind, and those who mind don't really matter. That is your message, your general message for today. We're going to see what this whole Venus and Libra transit is bringing the collective, right? All things 7th house, relationships. But first, let's see what you guys have going on in the comments, and who's even here besides Mars? Hi, Vivi. Hi, Figure It Fit. Hey, Blue Rose. Hey, Layla. Very timely message because I was wondering about the delays. Delay does not mean denial. It's the time to dot your I's, cross your T's, check your list twice, right? And make sure you're ready to receive everything that you've been asking for. Because for a lot of you, it's going to go for a moment of, I'm wondering, why is this not happening yet? I've done everything I needed to do. Everything is happening for everybody else when it's my turn. And you're going to go literally from being in the dark to being in the light. Everything is going to come in suddenly, right? Think of the story of Job. That's for somebody. Thank you guys for the new follow. Oh, New Heart, you spoil me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, Daisy. How are you? Is that car or music? It was a car? It was a car. I'm helping my bestie because she was oh no. Yeah, she needs to rest. Yeah, and yeah, that sounds like it fits your quota for charity work. Is this a pick a pile collective or all card in the collective? You know what, Crystal? We'll do a pick a card when we do the Venus and Libra. To make it a little bit more personalized, right? I'm in the grieving part of the breakup process. You've acknowledged it, you name it, and that's a step in the right direction. Take your time with it, right? Everybody grieves differently, and everybody's timeline is different. Speaking of timelines and manifesting, hi, Miss Nicole. How are you? Hey, Margie, how are you? No worries, Leah. This one and the one we did on Saturday are going to be uploaded later on this afternoon. Puerto Rican Power. Well, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Krista. Hi, Toya. Hi, Marcy. Marcy, Marcy, Marcy. How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? I think I got to, hi, Sharon. I think I got to everybody and Miss K from the other side of the pond. Hey, Tati. Oh, wow. The whole crew is here. All right. Me too, Marcy. I do love a good pick a card, right? Can you please tell me what was that card that had something Lisa? Wow. Where did she go? Mawa Lisa, right? In some stories, she possesses both sides. She both shows up as Mawa or Lisa, right? As the masculine or the feminine. Sometimes both energies in one person, but we are all, an embodiment of that masculine and feminine energy. We just, choose which one we want to present. But there we go. The moon and the sun, the balance within that leads to the balance without. My lovelies, let's get into, for the sake of time, what time is it? It is 2:01. It was 2 o'clock on the nose in New York. Where are you guys from? I know where most of you guys from, but the newer people that are here on the live for the first or maybe second time, where are you guys from? Where are you guys from as we clear the table and shift the energy some? Do I have enough crystals? I do. Feel free to ask any general questions about anything that comes out on the live. All right, let's put these away. I'm going to use this one. Venus and Libra, all things seventh house, the house of relationships, partnerships, and how we work with one another, right? Just not just our love relationships, even though that is included in the mix. But what is the Venus and Libra message? What is dear Venus wanting to share with the collective? Anything else the collective needs to know about this transit? And if you're on Patreon, you got the general message of what this week means, as well as your Etascope for this week. Thank you to everyone who's on Patreon. Anything else? I love that. You know what? We're going to stop right there. That's it. We don't need to pull another card. We don't. With the Lovers coming out, right? Of course, Gemini energy. And it also comes with the air of magnolias, roses. It has the scent of a warm, not humid spring day, right? June is very, very prominent, right? First of all, it feels like there is a good handful of you, not the OGs, not people who've been around, like you guys are on a separate tier in spirit, but of the people who are outside of the OGs or haven't been or just finding me for the first time and asking about love. Stop wondering about love. Spirit did put out that message last night about getting the blueprint and manifesting it. Whatever you do next, stop worrying about how love is going to show up for you and just know. Going back to that feeling safe card with Tituba, just know that it's coming in for you now. It may not come in with the person that you're thinking of, but it's coming in. And with the feeling, like I can almost smell the magnolias. And I don't know why they keep hinting at magnolias. Maybe this is for people who are in the South, right? But, or if somebody can tell me what's the spiritual meaning of magnolias. Somebody needs to know that. If you could put that in the chat, one of my OGs or moderators, that would be super duper helpful to somebody who is watching it, because it keeps coming up. When it comes to relationships and partnerships, now that Venus is in Libra, as we approach the new moon in Libra, a lot of truths about love is coming out, are coming out. A lot of people cannot hold back any longer and must come forward and either make things right or release you for forever. Let go for forever with this honeymoon, with the swans and the lotuses, right? Oh, I'm excited for you. A lot of you who have been, love hasn't showed up the right way. For some of you, mark the date on your calendar, December 20th, right? Not the 15th. The spirit is highlighting 12/20, right? The day before the winter solstice. With the lotus, right, we see this beautiful flower, right? But its root, it goes deep, deep down in the dark, murky waters. Like these flowers have to navigate through dark, murky waters in order to bloom beautifully. Some of your relationships had to go through the trenches, so to speak, in order to have that happily ever after, in order to have that balance, in order to have that wish fulfillment, right? And these birds, as my phone confirms, right? If you've been seeing swans and doves or just white pigeons here in NYC, because we got those too, right? That's your confirmation that balance is coming in. Balance in love, balance in all things seventh house related, but you just got to really start believing it. You got to start showing up as if it already is, because in spirit, it already is. It wouldn't have come out like this, right? You guys saw me shuffle the cards. You saw how they flew out. Spirit is very intentional, always intentional. The good, the bad, and the otherwise is always intentional. And on a side note, something that's been really, really heavy on my soul to share with the collective, especially those of you who have been really, really going through it over the past few weeks, months, years, and wondering, why does the Most High let bad things happen, especially to good people? You're reminded, what's Georgia girl? You're reminded that the sun shines on the good and the bad, right? Just as it shines on the apples and the ackee. And if you know anything about ackee, right, if you don't cook it right, it can be poisonous, right? The rain falls just the same on the good and the bad. Everybody has their season. Everybody has their time. And again, just because your time hasn't come doesn't mean it won't come. However, if you stay in the doubting Daniel, doubting Debbie energy, you're manifesting every not so happy experience. And I know some people are like, well, how am I manifesting that? Isn't it right to say that? What's really wrong and what's really right when it comes to energy? Energy has no wrong or rightness to it. It's just the frequency. Just like the frequency of a bird chirping versus the frequency you hear when you put a conch to your ear are on separate frequencies. Doesn't make one better than the other. One might be more soothing than the other. One might be easier to find than the other. But it's just different frequencies. If you're on the frequency of saying that nothing ever works out for you, then why are you surprised when it doesn't? Shift your frequency, shift your life, shift your mindset, shift your world. And yeah, it's just that easy. Sometimes a simple mind shift changes your life overnight. Some of you had to let go of the one person you thought you never would be without in your world, whether that's a lover, a family member, a friend, or whomever. But in letting go, you receive the very thing you've been asking for. Venus is very determined to balance the scales in all area of your life. Happiness is supposed to be your base frequency. Contentment, right? Fulfillment, right? Peace. That is supposed to be your baseline. Chaos will come and go, but you're supposed to be so much at peace, so much in your knowingness that everything is all right, that it literally comes and goes and doesn't bother you none. Any unexpected thing that pops up that tries to knock you off your square, you've already prepared for it months in advance, so it doesn't knock you off your square. It might frustrate you for a little bit, but it's definitely not going to knock you down and count you out. Keep your mind focused on what you're manifesting, and don't you dare lose hope. Next we have, my God, fertility with toil and labor coming back out. Pathways, right? When we see this tree with this hole in it that looks like something else, right? It looks like the portal in which souls incarnate onto this earth, right? It also speaks of structure and stability, right? And giving birth to those dreams, to those wishes, to those manifestations. The journey has been long, right? But if you take a deep breath and take a look, you've always been supported by your guides, at least, by your angels, at least, all along the way. Another nod to keep doing what you're doing, keep going. You will reap a bountiful harvest because you see all this lush greenery, right? Filled with abundance when your new day, as we look at the sun rising, when your new day dawns. Keep going. Your dreams are about to be born. Next we have neglect and privileged lady. Oh my God. We're back to that 1220. Please, please, please highlight _ italicize December 20th. It might even be somebody's birthday, but there's something magical, mystical, wonderful happening on that day. Maybe that'll be the day when you realize everything on your list, you can check them off because they happened all at once. Maybe that is the day we go through a collective transformation where the aliens from the 3i Atlas beams us up and take us to the utopian society we've been manifesting all along, right? For those of you on the live, there's a prominence around December 20th, right? Not just because it's a few days before Christmas, right? Or it's the holiday season or Advent or a day before the solstice. I'm feeling very much so that balance would have been restored by now. You know how, let me tell you exactly what this is giving. If you've ever experienced an electrical outage in your area because of a storm, because of an accident, the poles went down, something, right? The electrical company tells you power should be restored by such and such time, right? This is your heads up that whatever was lost, whatever you felt like you were pouring into and you weren't reaping the benefits from, or it was a one-way street and you invested all of that to get nothing, You may have invested in the wrong thing or the wrong person, but trust me, your investment didn't just, blow away with the wind. Like it's making its way back to you. You are not neglected. You are not forgotten, whether you are a feminine or a masculine energy. A lot of you are stepping into a season where your abundance takes on levels you can't even comprehend. Like your guides don't even have words to fully explain how good it's going to get for you. They just want you to know that you haven't been forgotten. Your prayers haven't been forgotten. It's not like you are last picked. It feels like part of the delays is because your dream is so big as the sun comes out. Lastly, oh my goodness. Soul Tribe, please, like somebody text me, remember 1220 so I could put it in my calendar. Thank you. Heads up, right? Aquarius season. The heads up, even though we're in harvest season right now, for some of you, it's Aquarius season, right? January. Thank you, Doodles. Hi, Doodles. It's Aquarius season. January. That you will see the shift, that you will see the change, that you will see the Most High make things happen. Ooh, make the impossible happen. Just keep doing, what's that, toil and labor, right? Because these match. Just keep doing what you've been doing. Keep going, right? You will have more than enough. You will have everything. Keep doing your affirmations. Keep your things, right? Some of you like to journal. Some of you do the talking to your water, speaking into your food, listening to subliminals, right? We love High Frequency Guru over here, right? Whatever mode or modes you use to manifest, keep doing it. Keep going. You're almost there, and that day, that new day, is almost dawning for you. You know what? We'll do it like this. We're going to do a pick a card. We're going to do it a little differently to see what this season is bringing you. We're going to bring back out the divine feminines. Right? And a good old Rider-Waite. Holy Spirit, what does the collective need to know about this season? And I want to hear your wedding stories. Like, let me know how that goes. Right? Where's Roberson? Spirit kind of like pointed at you real quick as a reminder to kind of bump you real quick, like, sir. Okay. To know what this transit, and Venus was going to be in Libra, I believe, until like the beginnings of November, for the next few weeks or so. I will double check. Choose between the citrine, the amethyst, or the carnelian, right? Really focus on which pile. It'd be nice if they were all in frame, right? Which pile resonates with you the most, right? You could put it in a chat. You could keep it to yourself, right? But focus on one pile. You're either choosing the citrine, the amethyst, which are both types of quartz, right? Which New York has an abundance of. We even have areas upstate, Herkimer, New York, where you could go out and mine your own Herkimer diamond, which is just a really pretty quartz, right? For those of you who are feeling adventurous or looking for things to do with your lover, right? That is an idea. Choose between the citrine, the amethyst, and the carnelian. You got it? Good. When it comes to the citrine, for those, and don't change it. Like, just hold on to it, you know. Maybe we'll do this all the time when we do the general readings, or maybe we'll do it for like special days, like the new moon, the full moon, and special transits. But if you chose the carnelian, you have the Five of Wands, and at the bottom of the deck, the Mother of Baskets. Another confirmation to keep doing what you are doing. Whoever in the collective, whether they chose the citrine or not, if you are counting yourself out of love because you have a kid, you have 10 kids, because you look this way or talk this way, or your age or your weight or your job, or you're taking yourself out of commission, for lack of a better term, because of your own self-imposed doubts and comparing yourself to others and things that are, yeah, stop that. Because the things you're thinking of that you find unattractive, your guys already have somebody in mind that will find those things so attractive. Those are the things, your quirks, and this is usually how it goes, is what they're going to love most about you. This is also a confirmation that those of you who chose the citrine and are in a season of singleness, your season of singleness won't be lasting for long. That Five of Wands is the five of Wands, right? That Sag, Leo, Aries energy, the energy of change, the energy of creating that family life, getting your just desserts, I'm hearing, so to speak. Fire signs, Mother of Baskets, water signs, right? Where you're going, where you're headed. For another group of you, you will have everything you need. You will be well provided for, well taken care of. I'm going to put those both in frame. Divine Feminines, what else do they need to know? If any, that did land on the floor, so we'll take it. It landed like this, right? I have my setup on off camera for my shipping. So it landed right on top of the shipping desk, right? This grief. Another confirmation, because if you look carefully, she's pregnant, right? This sorrow, the doubts, the fears, any negative feelings you're feeling about not having what you've been praying for yet, you're reminded that it is coming. Don't get hung up on it not being here yet. Even when you're pregnant, right? And they say your due date is December 20th, right? Statistically speaking, isn't it like maybe less than 10% of babies arrive on their actual due date? They usually arrive before or after. You may have planned this amazing life where you're going to do this by this age and that by this age. And that's all fine and dandy, right? Because it's important to have goals, right? Goals that you can actually work towards and work on. But sometimes what you thought would happen at 22 won't happen till 62. And that's just how it is. That's just how it's supposed to go for you and your destiny and who you are supposed to be in this world. Next, we have those of you who chose the amethyst. I think I could put this up here now. Does that work? We'll put this up here because then we'll put pop. You have the Ace of Wands. Something about Astrical year 2026. So we're talking about when we hit the spring equinox in March of 2026, the astrological new year, something about Easter season of that year. That will be your date for you to kind of like check off your list and see how much you have manifested with that Emperor, right? Which is Aries energy, also Capricorn energy, but also Aries energy, double confirmation on the fire, double confirmation on that water bearer energy, right? Things flowing over in abundance, you having more than you possibly could ever imagine that you would ever have. Life didn't show up for you in the way that you wanted because it's going to show up 10 times better. There goes that tree again, that fertility. A lot of talks about giving birth. Some folks are giving birth, like really giving birth, right? Physically giving birth. But a lot of this energy is about giving birth to your dreams, giving birth to your ideas, giving birth to your creativity, flowing with the seasons, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly, being exalted to the place of where you want to be in due time. Divine Feminine, what message do you have for the folks that chose the amethyst? Amethyst is the sober stone, but it's also a stone of spiritual clarity. And we're going to leave Tituba over there because she just wanted to come out for them folks. Is it Ecclesiastes where it talks about seasons and everything happening in their due season? Right. This emperor and Nana Baluku with her purple regal both give the energy of sitting pretty, of having everything you could possibly ever want. This 1 year that we're getting ready to begin in 2026 holds a lot of promise for those of you who have done the work, who have really surrendered into the knowing that everything happens exactly when it's supposed to and not a moment before. Lastly, I'm going to save Tituba down here. The carnelian, right? This is usually associated with manifesting abundance and love and things, attracting things in, right? You have death, spooky season, and the hanged. I don't know if we could say that whole phrase, right? This is Scorpio and Pisces energy. Hey, Scorpio and Pisces, right? Transformation energy is represented by the death card. It's always a card of transformation, right? Knowing that chapters have to end before new ones begin, right? Knowing that you grow out of stuff and people and places and things, and that's okay. They want you to look at things from a different perspective with the, right? And a lot of you with this Tituba and Pisces energy, going deeper into your spirituality, going back to what came out during the general message about getting a mentor, going into therapy, taking that seriously. There is a plethora of knowledge out here, right? And in this stage of Google, right, you could just, and Gemini and ChatGPT and all these other things, all these other resources, right? There's many ways to get a question answered. But in this age of technology, sometimes the best way is the old-fashioned way, right? To link up with somebody that knows their stuff. For those of you who've ever wondered about, especially those of you on a twin flame journey, and wonder how it changed, right? How the popular opinion of what twin flames are, I have a resource for you guys. It's called Spirit Library. It's something that I started with years ago when the whole twin flame journey thing and spirituality really started taking off again, right? We had the second wave in 2006, 2007, 2008, right? Those articles are still up on that website. So if you ever have time to burn and you want to do some research and sift through some articles from a different time, a different thought area to see how we got from one way of thinking to another, definitely go spiritlibrary.com and sift through the articles. There's a treasure trove of really good scholars, intellectuals, right? Not just folks with the spiritual gifts, because, they're cool too. But these are people who have, doctorates and accolades and have been doing this for decades and, were already in their 50s, 60s, and beyond when these articles came out. They're true elders. There might be something in there that you really, really need to see from that different perspective, right? Not what, is being shoved down your throat every single day. When you do the research, when you partner with that person that helps you along your journey, right, you will find that you naturally start looking at life, love, and spirit in an entirely different way. You get another card. What else does the Divine Feminine want to say to the folks who chose the carnelian? All that fire energy too, because carnelian. There's your confirmation, right? And now we have 411, 411, right? Seek the wisdom. Don't just accept what you've been spoon-fed or the general consensus or the general belief. Go deeper, right? Some of you might actually have to go to a library, right? And look through articles and books from the 60s and the 70s, right? Louise Hay, right? Some of her works, right? About manifesting and the metaphysical to get the answers that you seek. Not the parroted, regurgitated information that's running rampant, but the thoughtful information that will assist you along your journey. That will lead to your ultimate transformation and the new version of you, the version that manifests everything that you want just by saying so. That is your message. Let's see what you guys are chit-chatting about. It is 2:33. We got to wrap this up. Let's see what you guys are talking about. I see that a couple of you signed up for readings. So those readings will go out later on today and tomorrow morning. So keep an eye on your inbox. Well, hi, Luxie Bear. Hi, Soul. Thank you, Margie. Marcy, of course. Of course, of course, of course. That's right, Crystal, and obviously Death. Oh, you are, and there goes Georgia girl. Yes, thank you, Dora. Dorothy. Is that how we say it? That's dope. A time for anything, everything, and anything. Thank you, Georgia girl. Mama Duke. Hello. Cap season is loading. Hold up. Can we get through Libra season and Scorpio season and Sagittarius season before we get to Cap season? My lovely, lovely Capri Suns. Who else joined us? These new babies come, they come when they want, right? They have their own agenda. They don't care about our timeline. How are you, Boogie Woogie Woogie? Ah, that's too funny. Arshay, how are you? Look, are you too funny? Hi, Mo. I need my replacement for the wedding. Hey now, right? Manifesting at whim, just, speaking and it's done. Mm-mm-mm. You know, I've been thinking about that because that's, Miss Nicole, that is actually something I've always wanted to do. One of my earlier mentors is a wedding officiant, and I always thought that was so cool that she actually did weddings. And I love, love, love weddings and nuptials, but not like the big flashy weddings. The weddings you could tell that people are really in love with each other and just want to do life with each other. I want to do those. Sign me up, right? And then I could get my what do you call it? What do you call it? There's a word for it. NYPD has badges for people of the cloth, right? I get my badge. All right, my loves. 12/20/2025 is a Saturday. It's the day, you know what? Because we forget. It's not so much that we forget. It's just a bunch of things are always happening at once. So we pull out the handy dandy planner, right? The 2026 planner is coming out. Well, it's available for pre-sales, coming out in December. It will be shipped. And I'm going to give away like 5 of these, or maybe more, because they're so darn helpful. All right. So, December 20th, we have the Sagittarius new moon. When was the Sagittarius full moon? Right? It would have been 6 months before. So let's see here. That puts us in July. No, that puts us in August. That's different. It looks like we didn't have a Sagittarius. Oh no, I'm lying. I'm lying. It was in June. Think about where you were on June 11th, right? Think about the summer solstice and the Lion's Gate. Think about all the things you were attempting to manifest or you put out there, right? You set your intentions towards. By the time the Sagittarius new moon comes around and then followed by the solstice, yeah. Neptune retrograde ends 10 days before. There should be a lot of changes. And I want to hear all of your success stories, please, right? Definitely share your success stories because other people who are still in the trenches need to hear your success stories. And Honeybee's birthday is 10 days after. I don't know if anybody else's birthday in December. If your birthday is in December, let me know. Oh, goodness. I mean, look, you could always change the rules, You can always change the rules. All right. You said it, because sometimes it's not TikTok safe, right? We still have a lot of people lurking from the FYP, right? We still have not so nice energies here with us on the live, right? So certain things, you do have to play them close to your chest, right? Or only share with a select few, because as much love and light that we spread, right? In our collective Care Bear energy, it attracts the dark and the scornful and the baneful and the undesirables. So yeah, keep it to yourself or save it for when we're on Patreon. It is. It really, really is. But what can you do? New heart. Ooh, you don't say. Huh. Well, that's good to know. We got married in our other house, right in between the kitchen and living room. I love that. I would have totally, totally did that, right? Because that's just so sweet. That is just so sweet. Now I'm gonna put that on my list of things to do to become an officiant. I will be on the other platform tomorrow. Yeah. We will do the live there tomorrow. We'll start here and then transfer over to Patreon so I could get in readings for people who haven't had their reading for the month yet. Any questions, thoughts, feelings, responses that you want to share with the collective that, based on what came out? If you have a personal question, you can sign up for a reading or for a mentorship, whatever. All my information's in the bio. It's overdue. Doodles. Doodles, my poodles. It's overdue. And that's our safe space away from prying eyes, and the energy is just so much more relaxed and clear there. I believe you're on the Patreon, Dominique. I want to say you're on. Like, as long as that link shows up for you, you are eligible to get a monthly reading on the live when we go on Patreon. Let me know. And if you signed up for the daily email, the daily text messages, you automatically get access for the Patreon. Hi, Rosita. Which automatically reminds me of Sesame Street. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. That being said, it is 2:42 Eastern Standard Time on a Tuesday. We are in, might as well call it, right? See what hour we're in. The sun hour, right? 2:32 to 3:28, and next is the Venus hour. Just came out of the Mars hour. If you're not doing your rituals by the planetary hour, are you really doing rituals? On that note, I thank you all for spending this part of your day with Spirit, the Soul Tribe, and me. I trust that you will enjoy the rest of your day. If you don't see me again for the week, enjoy the rest of your week. Be kind to yourself, be kind to one another, and as always, stay blessed.